So I just recorded about 10 minutes halfway through the app, and I didn't I didn't have the mic on. I didn't have this mic, and I didn't have the other mic. So I fucked up. What can I say? And I didn't put my podcast out Wednesday, and my room is a mess right now. I'll show you because I showed it on the other one, and the idea was, I was like, dude, I started this episode because I was in a good mood, but yet here I am. I start off and I'm just justifying myself, justifying my life to you. I don't even know you. And then it's just interesting, like, oh, I'm in a really good mood. I want to talk about this stuff. And then you plug on the camera and you're like, self-loathing. So anyways, what did I talk about? I'm excited to be here in my basement right now. I'm really excited. The show You season 2 just dropped the other day, and that's all I wanted to do was watch it. I love it. It's about a guy who falls in love and kind of stalks this lady. That's the first episode or two, and that's it. You should watch it. It's called You. It's amazing, and I just think how cool, man. You get like the best. I just think it's cool, man. I don't know why. I was just like, this is cool. I've got pizza. I'm going to watch this crazy show, You. And I'm going to have a really good time while I'm doing it. And I'm going to be stoned. And it's going to be really fucking great. And I was just thinking how cool it is that, like, these amazing storytellers, hundreds of people get together and make these crazy shows, Trying to watch less shows. Because I have to also do my own thing, live my life. There's so many shows. You could just watch shows and movies forever. Anyway, sorry, that was really weird. So yeah, that was that, and I just wanted to say I'm excited. I love the modern world. What can I say? I love the modern world. I love. What are we going to talk about? Sorry, I did the episode. I was rolling, and then it stopped. Dragons and gold. Dragons and gold. That's what we're going to talk about. Where there's gold, there's a dragon. There to hide that gold, and to protect that gold, and to hoard that gold. And the reason the dragon's there is because there's gold. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like a chicken or the egg thing, but the things we want in our lives, that's our gold. You want a family, you want to be good at comedy, you want to do abuse, you want to do whatever. You got to fight a lot of dragons. And they're there to protect the dopest shit. And that's why they're protecting it, is because it's the dopest shit. I gotta do a stand-up this week, and that was fun. I did it 3 times at 2 different venues, and both of my sets went okay, and I want to get way better at doing stand-up. Like, I want to get so much better than I am right now. It was months and months ago, but I was at a show with my friend, and I was like, I think if I worked a lot harder, I'd be a lot better at it being a comic. I think saying the most obvious thing, but it was silly, but comedy's fucking, dude, it's so fun to write a joke and then make a room full of people laugh off of this silly idea that you had. It's just very fun. It's addicting. Yeah, I love it. And I also love making comics laugh. All the comics and I, we were all backstage talking and chatting after the show, and these 2 girls came into the club, and they were like flirting with the headliner, and we're like, we're gonna suck your dick, but we won't suck your dick. And he's like, okay. And when we were talking about it, he's like, I'm not gonna hit him up. He's like, I'm like over. He's like, I don't want to spend any amount of time, hours to try to get laid. And then this other guy's like, yeah, man, like all that whole rigmarole, everything you have to do to get laid, like all the freaking dance and song you have to do, it's just lame. And I was like, yeah, dude, talking to girls is the worst. And I got a laugh, and it was fun. I told these stories better on the other one. I'm sorry. But I was talking about dragons and gold and how I want to get better at a comic, and that's me. That's a dragon I have to fight. That's a dragon, dude. Comedy, I think, is the hardest. It's got to be the hardest art form out of all of them. I mean, I've never been a painter, but I've been a musician, and comedy's way harder. And that's good. It's beautiful and fun, and I'm gonna keep chugging at it, But there's so many dragons. Like, what's my gold? I was thinking about what's my not my goal. Well, my goal and my gold are very similar. The gold of the goal. Gary Goldman. He's someone I wish I would have followed his advice more. But if I didn't follow it at all, I'd be like 100 times worse than I am. So I'm glad I followed it some. But the gold, my gold. What is my gold? I think I want to be in a relationship with someone that I'd like to get married to. It's like everyone fucking wants this shit, but I was thinking, like it's obvious shit. I was making fun of poly people in my last podcast that didn't work. I just think it's funny when poly people are like they've been in a polyamorous relationship for like 5 months, and they're like, I got this shit. People who've been married for 45 years, people who got divorced after 15 years, I got them beat. It's like, you've been in a commune for like a few months, I don't think adding more people makes a relationship any more easier. Unless just it's easier because when someone leaves, you have other people to fuck. I don't fucking know. That's definitely not, no offense if you want to do that. But that's not my goal. I just want to meet a girl who's really cool. It's so dumb that we like want to spend time with girls that we just want to have sex with. It's such a stupid fucking waste of time. But I do that too, and I'd like to just not do that. I'd like to just be like, dude, I don't like this girl. Just don't add her on Instagram. Don't talk to her like you don't like her. Some people are just fucking like cunts and shit, But I'm attracted to cunts. I like them. Your girl has like a cunty face, like a cunty look. I get so turned on. But I think that's a goal. I want to be healthy. I want to be a good musician. I want to make money as an artist. And I want to, I don't know. There are some other things I thought of. But all these things are like super hard. Like, they're not easy things to just be like, woo. Every single one of these things requires so much slaying of a dragon. It requires its own dragon to slay and its own person to kill. So I got to figure that out. I got to figure that shit out. And I want to fight some dragons because if you don't fight the dragons, you don't get the gold. All right. What am I going to end this podcast on? I know it's really weird doing these short ones. I think it's interesting. I used to do really long podcasts, but now I kind of just talk for about 20 minutes and then I get the fuck out of here. And I don't know why. I used to talk a lot more. Who knows why? What do I want to talk about? Dude, Wonder Woman. Diana Prince, I think Wonder Woman is a grossly underrated superhero and also a grossly ignored story. I think not only is Wonder Woman is just a powerful feminist icon. She's also a powerful masculinist icon. This is a woman who, Diana Prince, Wonder Woman, lived on an island that was perfection. Absolute perfection. It was her and all other women, and it was the greatest place on earth. There was nothing bad happening, right? It was a paradise. And then this fucker, Steve Rogers, or Steve Travers rather, crashes a plane, and everyone else on the island's like, I don't give a fuck about that. But she goes and looks at this plane, and she sees this man, and all the other Amazonians are like, fuck men, men are gross, men are the worst, fuck men. But she sees like this endearing quality in him. She sees this beauty in this guy. She might just also want his dick. But whatever it is, she leaves paradise to go help and protect a humanity that her whole culture hated, but she saw good in. I just think that's beautiful. She left. You know, superheroes aren't cool because they're powerful. Superheroes are cool because they're powerful and they do the right thing. That's what makes them so not like human beings. That's what makes it fiction. You know, that's what makes, that's what's beautiful about fiction, is that characters like Superman and Wonder Woman and Harry Potter and these other people that have like this purity to them, these characters, and then we get to like be inspired by them. And I don't know, it's just funny, man. I was just thinking about that the other day, and I like literally was like almost in tears, like thinking about like, she left the island because she loved. She saw things in us that the other Amazon. It's a cool story. It's a cool story, especially when you get this like attitude, this pervasive, like the people that love dogs more than humans, the people that just think humanity is shit because the news is showing you the worst stuff all day long, and you're not able to filter it, which makes sense because 17 billion people, 7 billion, however many people, you can't comprehend all that shit. Yeah, I mean, there's just like those people that like hate people. And it's like, you're a person. Okay. You know. Okay, what else? People should like women, I think. People shouldn't hate women. I think being a misogynist, probably a bad idea. It's half the culture, half the world. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go against half of the world. We have so many broad generalizations, but they're there for a reason, probably, just to speed things up, I guess. Fuck, I don't have anything to say, you guys. I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Here's my song that I should probably do at the beginning of the podcast, like most podcasts do. But I'm going to sing you a song. I'm feeling very blessed. I'm feeling very excited. And, I got enough time to talk about this, I guess. No, fuck it. I'm going to talk about it next episode. All right. This is my episode of my really short podcast. I'll probably start getting guests on here soon. I got to get another one of these SM7Bs, these Shure microphones you see. And anyway, thanks for listening. I probably had more to say. I kind of fucked up. The other podcast didn't record. Here's the theme song. Hey there, everybody in the World Wide Web. Welcome to my podcast. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop. Music, movies, comedy, and eating ass and comic books. Welcome to my podcast. Welcome to my cast. I was talking about eating ass with my coworker, or my this guy I do comedy with, he was like, I was so surprised. He's like, I always thought it was crazy. Why would someone eat an ass? And then I did it, and I'm in. I've only been in for a few months. I was like, that's cool, man. And I was like, also, what's even better is if a girl likes your ass. And he's like, I would never put a girl through that. And I was like, me either. But when I was 22, I did. When I was 22, I got my bunghole licked by this chick. It happened on 2 different occasions. And I'll never forget. This is not something you forget. You know, it was more than 10 years ago. And I'll never forget it. There was a third opportunity, but when she went down, she popped right back up. I think I didn't know someone was going to try to eat my ass that night. You got to give a guy, or especially a guy, you got to give him a warning. But a girl, it's like, whatever. You got to, I've never gotten food poisoning from eating ass. Like, I've gotten food poisoning twice this year. Neither one were from eating ass. One was from Asian food, cheap Chinese food. There we go. Like, if you say American food, because Mexico's in the Americas, does that, like, I love American food. I don't know what that means. I was just thinking about how I said Asian food. That's pretty broad. But what's going on with my beard here? What's happening? What's this little guy? Is that a thing that happens with beards? Fuck it, let's make this a fucking full-length fucking episode, because why not? Why the fuck not? I said that I was going to stop, and I'm not going to stop. No stopping, okay? What is it? I thought of some stuff I said in my other video that I deleted. What is it you got to do? Let's say you want to fall in love. Let's say you want to be in love, this thing I said everyone wants. Let's say you want to do it. What do you got to do? What are the dragons you got to fight? You got to fight fear, of course. That's with everything. But that's going to be your biggest fear. You're going to have to fight closed-mindedness. You're going to have to fight to be open, to be willing to give people a chance. I'm going to have to be, what do I need to do to get into a relationship? Ask girls out that I like. Eventually one will like me back, and it'll be eventually probably cool, and we'll probably date. If we keep dating and things go well, we'll keep dating, and then you never know. You can finger bang people with your pinky. After a few years, get your pinky right on in the bum. Hopefully it doesn't take years to put a pinky in a bum, but I was thinking about that. What do I got to do? You know, I want to make money as an artist, as a musician. What do I got to do? Everything different than what I'm doing. What I got to fight these dragons. I got to email blogs. I got to promote. I got to get, you know, like Todd McFarlane says, he's like, the whole thing of if you build it, they will come is bullshit. If you build it and you stand in front of people and don't let them move around you, then jack them off, then they'll come. Todd McFarlane didn't put the part about jacking them off. That was me. But you got to stand in front of them, is what he said. I've yet to really stand in front of anyone because I'm afraid. I think I've talked about that on another episode, and fuck that. I don't be fucking afraid anymore. That's what this podcast is about. It's about connecting with you people. But it is. I mean, I'm just going to come here every week. I'm a couple days late on this one, but I still at least putting one up the week of. You know, hopefully eventually people will listen to this and like this. But these dragons, we have to fight them so we can like bathe in gold. And the thing I'm wondering is, if you get the gold and you don't share it, do you turn into a dragon? Like, is that what rich people are? They're people who like should have spent more of their money and they didn't. And now their skin is turned to scales. On each one of these scales reads a different thou shalt. Oh, I've already talked about dragons and shit. Joseph Campbell said the scales of the dragons are written the things our society tells us we have to do, and to cut the throat of the dragon and to kill it, and to move past what society wants us to do and actualize our own desires. That's gold, dude. You got some gold right there. Helps to have guess when you're smoking weed. So anyways, some stuff about gold. What's the difference? I've done music for 15 years and I've done comedy for 1 year, but I've met some, talked to some real ass comics, man. We get headliners every week. I get to go up in front of them. I get to listen to them, talk to them. I don't really bug them. It's more just talk to them. What are they going to say? Be better at what you do. Sometimes they give good advice. That's fun. But they're just like, write more jokes. Don't say lynching. That's one of the only notes I've gotten. It's like, kid, you should maybe rewrite that joke and not say lynch. It's fucking wild, man. Life's fucking wild, dude. Like, I started doing comedy, then I started doing the club spots, and it's just been fucking wild, I don't know, dude. It's been a fucking crazy year, dude. I think I talked about this before, but I'm in therapy, and I've talked about this also before, that I have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, or I did. I don't know. We're treating it right now, but pretty crazy that the year that I had to get treated for that, even though I've had it for years, the year I had to start treatment was the same year I started comedy and started going to therapy. And I just wonder, man, like what, I don't know what would have I don't know what it would have been like, what it would be like to be going through chemo and stuff without my comedy friends, without the club. Like, that's such a big part of my life. Every weekend for 8 months, I might have taken like 3 weekends off. I've been working there doing comedy. It's fucking fun as shit, dude. Fucking, I met and hung out with cool comics, dude. It's fucking fun. Fucking dope. I just think it's wild. I think that's really cool to me. But what's the difference? I'm doing really cool coincidence. I'm very thankful to be doing comedy and to be doing therapy. I like therapy a lot. Therapy's really helped me in my life, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend doing therapy. And okay, so what's the difference between stand-up comedians and musicians? And I think I figured it out in some level. Musicians are trying to like create a persona to like escape who they are and escape the things they don't like about themselves. And comedians are magnifying their own self and trying to expose and give air to their most deepest, darkest parts, so that they don't have to hide from themselves, so they don't have to hide from their self-loathing. I mean, I think this is very simplistic a way of talking about it, but I think there's a level of that. Like musicians put on like big feathery hats. Every musician does. Every musician puts on a big feathery hat, on a leather jacket or like some suede boots or some shit. And then like comedians just wear like Nautica shoes, and like it's like such an interesting thing because it's expression and stuff, but it's very different people and very different, I think, things, you know, like I think comedians are more like, you know what, fuck you. You don't like who I am. I'm going to become a fucking killer, amazing, funny dude. I'm going to prove to you me, the person I am, is like the fucking best. And musicians are like, oh, you don't like who I am? Well, I'm going to create a persona that's like a rock star. Dude, I'm going to become something I'm not. I don't know. I'm not totally making sense. Musicians create a version of themselves that's not themselves to deal with their insecurities. Comedians, they accentuate and emphasize themselves so that they can actualize themselves and deal with, and as a way of dealing with their insecurities. I think I got that. I think I did okay there. I was watching you, and I kept wanting to talk to you people. So I was like, that's interesting in a way. Why? I don't know. Maybe I'm just lonely. Probably I'm just lonely. But I did think of some other things I wanted to say. There's a whole other episode that I'm going to do next time. And I can't remember what I was going to do it on, but hopefully I remember. And thanks for listening to 10 more minutes of this podcast. Bye-bye.